Yo, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Posted on the Block podcast. I'm your host, Stu. We cover all things blockchain, metaverse, NFTs, all money making opportunities in the space. I'll let everybody introduce themselves one by one. Let's get it.
You got your girl Z, the DeFi tycoon, just here making bags on blockchain. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Professor J, coming out of New York. Hit y'all with that crypto talk.
Yeah, for sure. In this episode, we're gonna be talking and getting into like crypto banking versus like traditional banking systems. Because I know just in crypto, um, I know there is I guess like a viewpoint at which like in so much time you see like a traditional bank model being extinct or just non-existent to a degree. And I'm not saying that's going to happen in a year's time. It might not even happen in 5 or 10 years time, but there is a period where in the cryptocurrency community people do see banks being non-existent, or just like the banking structure, which like how bankings are going from like internet and software programs onto like blockchain technology. But when people say that, or just your thoughts about like crypto versus traditional banking, what's your first thoughts that come to mind?
So you want to go first?
I didn't want to interrupt. All right, so first thing when it comes to crypto banking, of course, the first thing that comes to my mind is exchanges and swaps. Um, Swaps, for anybody that doesn't know, are decentralized exchanges that are built on the blockchains, and they connect to your decentralized wallets. Um, the difference between them and centralized exchanges, they're gonna have more so a lot of the shit coins that aren't gonna be verified or anything, so you have to be a lot more careful. But you have a lot more of the coins that aren't available on there to be able to work within ecosystems on the blockchain. Centralized exchanges, they run more like banks and like a mixture of banks and stock exchanges at the same time. Because crypto is a transactional currency, unlike stocks. You can't use stocks to buy stuff, but you can use crypto to do that. So your crypto exchanges behave as banks. So like a crypto bank being like a centralized exchange within crypto is going to be more so a combination of a somewhat of a stock exchange like Webull, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, whatever you're used to. Um, but you can also spend the currencies that you have because you can have a debit card, you link in your bank account, and you can trade currencies as well too. So kind of like forex trading, I guess too. With regular banks, I see them as like still a necessary. I think they're necessary still because one, the whole world hasn't converted to cryptocurrency or to the blockchain yet, so it's necessary at the same time. But also, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, so it's not like you're going to dump all your cash into crypto, and you don't want to have all your cash in fiat as well too. So think of them as different investments. But I don't know. That's my thought process when it comes to crypto banking and fiat banking.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I was similar take um, that that was just mentioned, and I feel that when it comes to when I think about crypto banking versus traditional banking, I think I think about more you have it more speed, you have it more I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, but you have more speed. You can see things on a blockchain, unlike when you can see transactions through a bank. Once you make a transaction on a bank, you just probably just see your transactions in your account, but you won't be able to see like everything, all transactions on that blockchain for fiat at all. I don't think that ever would happen, but through crypto, you can see these transactions on a blockchain. If you transact with Bitcoin or Ethereum, you make a purchase, you can see that transaction and every transaction that followed or that follows or goes before it. So you do have that, and again, you do have the speed where it does depend, because you can use a centralized exchange, and in crypto, and things could happen where the exchange is taking some time, or things are held up for whatever reason, or they check your account and seen something going on. I don't know, but with most decentralized exchanges, you do have that speed, um, and you can actually with most of them you could transact. I think all of them, when it comes to crypto, you can transact 24/7. Unlike other banks, you can, but sometimes if you're waiting for money to come in, that has to wait for, I guess, business hours or whatever like that. You don't have business hours in crypto, so when I think of it, those are the main things I do think about.
Yeah, I think just with like the banking system, like I really don't know if like just traditional banks will ever go out extinct just because it's just a system that we are used to, and I just feel like like how the system is, like let's say somebody gets into my money, gets into my account like today or something, when my card gets hacked, well I could just freeze my account and like and things like that, and there's like permission versus permissionless, and like there's ways around that in crypto, as far as like somebody gets into your crypto account or whatever. There's ways to go about that, but I just feel like also it's just we're still brand new to that in that side of crypto, that like I don't know if people will truly ever like shift all the way in over to like a crypto bank type of model, just because it is decentralized. So like if something happens funny with your money, like with a traditional bank, you have somebody that you could hold accountable, or like you can get access to your funds. But like in crypto, it's like when it's gone, that type of thing. And there's like other measures you could take to like protect yourself from those instances happening. But um, that's why I'm just kind of just wondering, like, will we ever like make that full transition and shift, or like traditional banks always play in the fact of what they will always have, some level of existence, like when it comes to that, just because of how we are as a society. And like even even I know Kraken, like they tried to set up like a actual like bank here in the US, I think in San Francisco or San Diego or somewhere, and then they got shut down and everything like that. And just like working there, people really don't understand crypto, so like they get like a lot of death threats, working there, like things could happen, like people, I think it's just a lack of understanding. It's just like I feel like we had to work through that first, as far as like what is a crypto bank and things, and that's like the purpose of like why we doing this. But um, I don't know if we'll ever get to a point, personally, just how I feel today. Like it could change, a month, a year, whatever, some change from now. But how I feel today, I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where like traditional banking systems will be non-existent, just because there is a place for those type of people. Because like I don't know if people truly want a decentralized banking banking system.
I, I think that will take time. I think as long as we have a cash system, or we're using dollar currency, we will have banks. And I think also I think what banks are going to do before that, probably that happens, where probably not using the dollar as our main currency. I think banks will eventually start accepting crypto, probably little by little. You see already our online banks like PayPal, Cash App, they starting to use cryptocurrency. Robinhood, these are sort of pretty much like online banks. They hold the dollars and funds for you, so they're using crypto now, and you can store your crypto, and now you can trade it, and you can transfer it and accept it and receive it. And I think probably will start seeing, especially like governments, start accepting it, as they're working on regulating it. I think you will start seeing more traditional banks start adding crypto on to as an account that you can have with them. It won't be the same as probably your like your Uniswaps or different swaps and decentralized chains. But I think they'll start trusting crypto little by little, starting with like Bitcoin, Ethereum, just like other other online banks. They usually just look at your uh, Bitcoin, Ethereum, so on. And then as more countries and governments start accepting it more, I think we'll just see banks start accepting that, and they just keep going forward. I mean, I think our Chase banks, our Bank of Americas, are these banks are just I just added on, and then in the background for like retirement, you're starting to you hear that in the news a lot with them starting like Bitcoin ETFs and things like that. And it's being hard to get acceptance, whatever, but it's coming. So once banks started adding that on, hedge funds have that on their balance sheet, then banks are starting to allow the masses to use Bitcoin or Ethereum as an account, and then even maybe going forward as using Bitcoin as collateral to get loans and things like that, because we do already have that in the crypto space, and I hope that we could probably touch on that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's just hard to gauge and everything. Like I know there's like a lot of good things that come with like a crypto banking system. Like even off the top of my head, just thinking about accessibility, like being able to access your funds. Just because like banks not might they're not available like on the weekends. Like Saturday and Sunday, like we not available. Like come see us Monday at 8:30 in the morning, like those type of things, like to where like if you want to make a big transaction, like you had to like get permission to your bank. You can't just do that on your own. They have to approve that. Like I can't just make a $3,000 purchase. They're gonna stop that purchase and be like, oh, excuse me, Mr. Stu, like we thought like somebody was trying to get into your account. Like this is not a pattern of your spending behavior. So we block the purchase, that type of thing. And then like it'd be like security issues, but I feel like it it like people could say like the with the security as far as like losing like large sums of cash, like because people can like hack like mobile banking apps and like they could lose like a whole bunch of sums of money and
I
things.
mean, it's that now. I
Huh?
mean, it happens now. Like people losing money through banks. Like even with with that whole debacle with Canada, then they have a bunch of their banks shut down because they ain't had no internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's happening. I could see banks actually adapting to crypto in a way like how we have our centralized exchanges, but mainly with like the major coins. So I could see them with kind of behaving the same way like Coinbase and crypto.com is, but with like keeping it with like more than likely Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't see them adapting. I don't think the American government likes Binance, so I don't see them adapting it too much, but they may. It's a possibility. And even if everything works out with the SEC, XRP as well too. So we may see something like that. And even if some banks become more involved, they may even start creating their own wallets, same as Coinbase and uh what you call it uh sorry Coinbase and crypto.com. So the way that they have their wallets, so they may not be able to give us have us purchase coins and stuff like that, but they will give us options and products to be able to store our coins. And granted, it's more than likely going to come with a fee that doesn't come back to us at all. So but I can see that happening to create more people coming in, and I feel like more people actually feel safer with that than how we are out in the wild, wild west right now.
Yeah. I think just like the decentralized nature, like the cryptocurrency, like the crypto banks, is just like I don't know. It's just like if something hacks in with the system or something, or like a cryptocurrency, just so many different variables. Like people, there's nobody to hold accountable with that. It's just kind of like you are out in the wild, wild west. Like I don't know if like just for that reason, I don't know if crypto banks will ever like demolish traditional banking systems just because like in a centralized way it is a safer like option as far as now yes you got like an entity controlling your money and stuff like that, but it's just again, I just go back to like there's nobody to hold somebody accountable, and like that might be fine for one person, but like I don't think people really understand that. They be like, oh yeah, decentralized, for the people, for the people. All right, well, cool. Like when you're on your own, X, Y, and Z, then like when shit hit the fan, then people be acting funny.
I
Like,
think we
oh,
have. I think we have to look
Responsibility.
at it. I think we have to look at it like outside, like where what our regions are, because you have other countries that you know the cryptocurrency as a that banking system is a lot more trusted than the actual banking system of the country. So in America, yes, it looks like that our traditional banking system is more, I guess, safer to some folks, depending on how you look at it. But in other countries, like that's not the case by far. Especially when the currency against the dollar is down 50%, 80%. People do look at cryptocurrency, and they're how the acceptance there, um, as a more safer haven, than what we would, because we have the dollar here in America, and so does a lot of other developed countries. Their currencies, they value a lot better probably than others, but other countries do look at cryptocurrency as a more of a safer haven than what their traditional bank has to
I
offer.
agree with South America definitely because they adopted as Bitcoin as their official currency, their national currency. So it's just like a lot of underdeveloped countries have been taking on um, cryptocurrencies as their official currency, and America, literally Americans are the biggest. Americans in the UK are the only people on Earth right now that are terrified of crypto. And I noticed that with the whole thing. I don't know if y'all noticed this weekend. So we see the little. I'm not sure. Me and Stu were talking about it. It's probably a bull trap, but everything's going up and looking all sweet. Everybody's hype about the movement this weekend within the crypto market. But at the same time, you see all the news media and all the major finance medias was just throwing mad FUD about the crypto market. It's just like everything is green right now. Why are y'all fudding up the place? And it's just like there's still some ulterior motive and stuff for them to sit there and fear because a lot of people still watch MSNBC for their financial news, even for crypto, even though those people was a bunch of boomers that don't know nothing about crypto. You got a bunch of people still watching CNN or listening to these old heads on podcasts, and they're not listening to. They refuse to go to YouTube and be on Twitter and on the social media or be in Discord. One, it's not their generation, so they're not gonna know everything that we know, and they're just gonna go with whatever the media tells them, regardless, even if it is FUD and it's BS as well too. So it's just like the market is going up, and they telling everybody, yeah, crypto's not safe, it's dangerous, it's crashing. Literally saying the crypto market's crashing when it was actually going up. So it was just like they do that mess all the time whenever the crypto market's going up. So it's just like I think our media has a huge part to play in it too, with scaring the public as well. So I just feel
yeah.
like everybody do your part and talk to your friends and family so they can start being more trusting of a new market and not just trust what this media is telling them as well too.
I mean, but that's just the society that we live in, and even to go on your point with the CNN and the baby boomers and stuff like that, it's just like it's like the knowledge and the human like resources in this area. Like we talk like specifically like even with that with crypto in general and with the banks, it's just like we don't really have like a humongous knowledge or human resource base that like comes with this to be able to like educate people like in this new type of banking system or structure, or how crypto banks are like you know people could make the argument it's better than traditional bank models and everything like that, but like they have over like a banking system that's been developed for like over centuries, but like we only got like cryptocurrency is just a product of like over 13 years of data. So it's just like just a lot of different things. We don't have like those experts and specialists in those areas, and I feel like that's what it takes for those type of like baby boomers or those people to like you know be comfortable with this new type of system that is trying to be implemented. I'm not saying in the year, but I'm saying like in ever due time, it's gonna take those specialists and all those resources and basically people to get their hand held in this process and getting educated to allow people to be comfortable with this like new proposal, this like banking structure or model or whatever. Because I just feel like people are truly not going to be comfortable with that model and everything. Just in my opinion, just because the lack of resources and the learning curve and being able to have all these stuff access is not available. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
is, but it's not available on a mass level. Like to where people could just reach out. Oh, let me get my handheld. Oh yeah, sure, Timmy, we'll walk you through. Like it ain't like that.
No,
Nah, you're right.
I don't think it's ever
You're
going
right.
to be like
Definitely, I
that.
agree with you.
I don't think it's ever going to be like that because I mean I think the way we look at it is way
Man,
different from what the masses looks at it and how they ever will look at it. I think the masses, most people will only get a whiff of cryptocurrency. You know, and I mentioned this before. If it's not through NFTs or through play to earn games, it will be just probably through like their 401ks or something like that. They won't ever probably touch it because it's just going to be it's going to be looked at the same as probably stocks or other asset classes that people don't invest in because they probably don't have the extra capital to invest in it. You know, so I mean, I don't expect the masses to catch on, you know, like that. Um, you know, I put this in the same boat as stocks. I mean, you know, especially as we go forward. It's just we're just knee deep into it, but I think the masses they're probably never really gonna get onto it that much. I mean, and as far as banks, traditional banks, you know, Stu brought up a good point as far as like they've been here for centuries. You know, some of these banks have been here for centuries. Some of them have, used slaves as collateral back in the day. That's here now. So I don't think they're going to ever go away. They're going to just adapt to what's here to come. So whatever's being used as collateral, now that's what they're going to be using. Back when it was slaves, but now it's stocks and houses, and now it's going to probably be crypto as governments start accepting it. So once the U.S. says, all right, Bitcoin's a gold, we can use it all across every state, we can making exchanges, all that, blah, 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 then I think you'll have people like Chase Bank and Wells Fargo, allowing people to buy Bitcoin on their exchanges, and that's when we'll see the super rise of Bitcoin going up crazy, potentially I think, or whatever cryptocurrency they decide they want to accept. But I think that's our the fate of our future with cryptocurrency as far as how traditional banks accepting it, and especially as like other even like retailers or other folks start accepting it more. Because you can be a business and accept crypto currency right now. So if you could in real estate again, I think one of the overlooked things with cryptocurrency is using that as collateral, especially for people as people of color, because for so long, and even we can say that even to this day that people are when you go into these banks, you probably racially profiled, probably trying to get to do certain things. And cryptocurrency, there is no racial profile. You have the collateral, you can get that loan. And you have multiple platforms out there that allow them to do that. And as you have more people out in the world that start accepting crypto, banks will have to probably concede and decide to start allowing this and allowing people to use their cryptocurrency as collateral to things like that. And I think that would be a big shift for cryptocurrency once people start understanding how
I'm
that works.
I'm glad you brought that part up, the loans and the collateral. Because, like I said, I agree with y'all that the banking system, like some of it won't change that much. Because people won't like businesses. Certain businesses gonna be stuck in their ways, and certain people gonna keep following that. But I do believe that whole thing, what you're saying with the loans and the collateral, is gonna change the way we deal with credit and credit history. I do believe that credit scores are going to become more and more irrelevant as time passes with cryptocurrency. Because if most, I think a lot of people, what we're going to start seeing is a lot more crypto millionaires. That people have a lot of money in crypto, but not much in fiat. So they'll be able to use their crypto as collateral, like you're saying, and banks are going to have to adapt to having loans with collateral because one, there's more money in it for them too. So why wouldn't you want to give a loan to somebody that's holding $1 million, legit holding $1 million, or you gonna sit there and worry about a credit score? Nah, they in it for the money just like us. So I see them adapting to that whole structure of doing some finding some type of way to distribute crypto loans and collateral and using them as collateral instead of having us to deal with our credit scores.
I mean, I think credit is
Uh,
going to remain in place for a while. I mean,
That's what I said. Down the future, it's
you
going to
know,
become less and less more irrelevant the more people have in crypto. Not like right now, but definitely in the future, it's not going to be as prevalent or as necessary as it is now today.
I mean, for that to happen, I think crypto would definitely have to like stable off and not have the like volatility it has. And then again, I guess we got to think about which cryptos we're talking about because I think like Americans love their credit, so I don't know how I don't see that how going away for a while or no time soon because I mean I think that's what the traditional system banks on. And again, I don't see the masses adopting crypto really like that unless they did have to deal with NFTs or play the earn games. And then I think that will transition to people being able to just use your credit card or use your debit card to just purchase whatever you have to purchase. So and I think that's the route a lot of projects are trying to take if they want the masses to get on to their projects. Most of the top projects out at least probably I've seen, that's what they use, so far, with cryptocurrency. Unless you like a Uniswap or some other or T or whatever. But yeah, I think that's gonna be there for a while, but like at least they're gonna have to adopt it for just that section of the population that deals with crypto, just like them adopting, you being able to trade stocks or whatever, like have a TD Ameritrade account, which is the same as TD as a whole, but they have that for people that want to play stocks because they want part of that game. So I think they have banks that just said, all right, I want in on some of this. We're gonna have that for customer, and just go forward like that. But yeah, people, I think, yeah, Americans love their credit, so that's gonna be here for a while. That's everybody want to, get a good credit score. Go
yeah,
back and
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because I
Go
live in
ahead.
right now. But once people start getting loans based off of crypto collateral, and I don't have to worry about my credit score, yeah, I'm gonna go with crypto collateral. But it's like I said, it's gonna be a process, just like anything else adapting. Because at the end of the day, credit wasn't always a part of the American system, and neither was credit cards. You know how long it took people to adapt to credit cards and trust them, and even our wireless transactions right now, like Apple Wallet, Apple Pay, and that Tap Pay. People ain't trust that for decades. That was out for almost 20 years before people really started trusting it.
Yeah,
So
I
I'd
guess.
say 20 years, you should be able to expect change. When technology is involved, things will evolve. Because
Okay,
at the end
so
of the day, you got to evolve or die.
okay, so like, yeah, that's my question to you. Like, what's your timeline in which you see, like, you know, like the credit or like people using crypto as collateral as far as like overtaking credit? Like, what's your timeline? What you see? You said like 20 years.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I was saying that because of with the NFC uh, payments. So like that's the tap payments, the wireless payments, and stuff that we're used to doing now. That took almost 2 decades for people to really actually start trusting it. So like in order to be able to start trusting crypto and then crypto transactions, crypto loans, and all of that stuff, yeah, you're gonna need more adoption. It's gonna take a couple decades, if anything. Is for the entire world, for a couple billion people to adapt to it and to
Mm-hmm.
trust it. The market needs to be stabilized, just like Jay said, in order for people to trust it. So, but as more people enter the market, the more it will be stabilized. And there's more projects, more trustworthy, more strong projects that are being built on the blockchain for real world purposes. You can see more people entering that market and being able to stabilize the conditions within the market. But right now, it's so volatile because there's a lot of projects, there's a lot of shit projects, so it's messing up the system. But that's with any new product. It's gonna be the Wild West for a little while. So it's this, we just gotta be careful and just enjoy the ride and enjoy the freedom that we have right now because we ain't gonna have all this in about 20 years.
I mean, at least we all agree on that because I just don't see no, I don't see no banking model with that right now. Like, I just do not see that. So like, at least like we all agree on that. I mean, for me, I am with crypto banks just because of just like the accessibility, the transaction speed, like just a lot of good that comes with that. But also like I'm just getting into like the safety and like the insurance when it comes to like traditional banks. Like I know with traditional banks, if like a physical bank is like robbed or whatever, like the client or the person, they don't really lose money like in terms of like oh like Chase Bank got robbed, but that don't affect my account or whatever. But like I don't
If you
know.
have over $200,000,
I'm. You said if I have over what?
if you got, I mean, if you have less than $200,000, Chase is FDIC insured, so yes, you safe. But if you have over that, like they're not responsible for that.
I
Yeah, you
mean,
gotta read those terms. All the banks say that the FDIC terms.
well, I mean, okay, I don't have over that amount of money like in my account or whatever. But I'm just saying like in terms of just like the safety and like the insurance with the banks and just how they are like being able to insure like customers and stuff. Like I don't know if you could get like the same thing back in crypto. I just feel like that's like to a degree, like just in my opinion, just because of like how one volatile and then like two like even people try to use certain apps or whatever as like kind of like saving or building up like having like an interest back or whatever and earning that back as far as like rewards interest. Like even that happened with Celsius when they was promising all those different things with their app and then they crash and then a lot of people can't even get their money back and there's nothing they can do about it. So I feel like there's factors in all of that. But I mean it just depends,
I think,
but like huh?
well, I was about to say, well, that's where it comes as the education, and you mentioned that before. We don't have no like human resource or like education system. I mean, a mass one out there. Like it's not implemented in like our public school curriculum. It's not in like most colleges yet. But colleges are slowly implementing it. You probably have little niche private schools here and there that probably implement a little bit of it. But as people learn more about it, I think you will see them learn, using crypto and understand that you do have insurance. Maybe not on the centralized side, but there goes DeFi. You like
But
on
just to
some.
not to cut you off, but just to create so there's no confusion. Crypto.com and Coinbase are FDIC insured. So just keep that in mind, just like the banks.
Okay, cool. So you got even some safety over there. So but all right. So like I'm saying, with crypto, you do have some insurance as far as, and even with now, like you mentioned with FDIC insured over there, and then you also have on the DeFi side. You can insure up to millions on the DeFi side if you're like staking on some of their main platforms like Aave and Compound, or Curve. You can buy DeFi insurance where it covers up to a certain amount for cheap. Just like you would get insurance with other stuff out there that you would get on a regular basis. So I mean, most people don't know that. Even regular people that deal with crypto, again, that's more on the decentralized finance side. But once people get educated more and start trusting crypto more and understanding the responsibilities they have with holding down their assets, and they don't not having that easy access to customer service, I think they will probably start using these these dApps, not the masses, but just to put that out there for people that's listening and anybody else, that you do have you know a high level of insurance to somewhat in crypto also that you might not think you have because of like crypto.com or Coinbase. You probably didn't know that they were FDIC insured, or once you have over that $200,000 threshold, you could go place that other places and get insurance on that also in the crypto space.
I also want to point out that just buying cryptocurrency and these NFTs off like these NFT marketplaces aren't the only way that the masses will be getting into crypto. An example is like certain businesses offering certain type of NFTs as reward cards or memberships will be another way that people are getting into the space as well too, without having to buy tokens and stuff like that. I just made a post on my Twitter about, I think it was yesterday, about this wine company where you get exclusive tastings and you get wine shipped out to you and everything just for holding one of the NFTs. So it's just like you'll be having different options and different ways companies are going to be creative on creating different ways for people to enter the market. So even if they're not using decentralized apps or even if they're not buying any coins, there's still going to be different options for them. And I'm curious. I'm curious and excited to see what different organizations and companies come up with, different creative ways they come up with for people to enter the market space. But if y'all just sitting there thinking about people just buying a bunch of coins and stuff and NFTs like the way we're doing right now and getting on the certain dApps that we have, yeah, that's gonna take a while for people to get on. But when you start seeing people's favorite stores and even Walmart, people shopping at Walmart with their Walmart rewards cards, or their Target rewards cards, or their grocery stores, Costco's, BJ's, all those type of people, even Apple. You get your Apple cards, Apple NFTs to get exclusive discounts and stuff from Apple. When people start doing certain things like that, that's what's going to bring the masses into the crypto space, not them buying Bitcoin and buying all these coins and using these game apps and
Yeah, I
playgrounds.
mean that's why I said it's going to take where platforms and businesses are allowing you to use your debit card. Like, and we have NFT platforms already doing that, and then you eventually have your traditional platforms doing that. I mean, we almost got that sort of with like eBay. Even though you have to kind of route back to one of, um, you know, but I think you can pay with PayPal, right? If I'm not mistaken. But that kind of.
And you guys know what Salesforce is, right?
I'm sorry.
You know what Salesforce is?
Yeah.
So Salesforce is even coming up with its own NFT marketplace for businesses to be able to create and exchange NFTs for their consumers and to bring in more stuff, especially if you know how Salesforce is used. So they actually announced that last month. So we're starting to see the beginnings of real world coming in and meshing with Web3. So we'll start seeing it more. I don't think it's gonna be as long as y'all think it's gonna be, but yeah.
Yeah,
No, I mean, yeah, NFTs, that's like another. I look at that as another asset class because, like, yes, you're right. That's here right now. You got Mark Cuban, in Dallas. You buy a ticket, you buy that as an NFT, and you hold that, and that gives you access to stuff and all that. So it's definitely here, and there's a lot of other examples where people are just getting into the space through NFTs, whatever. But as far as like traditional banking, where you like have a savings account and all that, like and using like crypto as your savings account. I mean, I think that for me, I think in my opinion, will take a while, because I think people are going to look at crypto just like they look at, stocks and things like that.
I don't think that's gonna happen at all, honestly. Because, like you said, people gonna look at it like stocks. People don't use their brokerage account. Well, the average person doesn't use their brokerage account as a banking account or a savings account. So I wouldn't see them doing that with crypto either.
I mean, I don't see the masses doing it, but I see some people doing it. I mean, I
That's
just
what I
think
said. The average person. I don't see the average person doing it. But
I agree with that. I don't see them doing that. I just think more people that use stocks will probably definitely start doing it because of how many options you have with crypto. The options you have with crypto. You don't have those nowhere near the options you have with stocks that you have with crypto. So I think more people will start using crypto and will be implemented in banks, just not again the masses. Because you have so many things you can do with it. Like you can't buy stocks and go take it and play some game with it and buy, things like that, or take the stocks and go stake it, unless that company is giving dividends or whatever, or take it and farm it on top of staking, or use that stock as collateral. I mean, well, in some cases yes, but it's not as transparent and as easy and permissionless as crypto is. So I think once people get the education and knowledge on what you can do with this space and things you can do, you will have more people willing stocks and those traditional assets that we they'll be using that. But again, I don't think the masses will. I think you'll hear like maybe you go to work and then you'll hear maybe a couple of people say, "Oh, yeah, I use a little bit of crypto for collateral, do this for my daughter or whatever, stuff like that." But not like the whole office is like, "Oh yeah, I got my daughter." Like right up this, there ain't gonna be a whole conversation. I don't think that's gonna get there no time soon or even at all, whatever. But you go have the people out there sprinkled using crypto for various reasons.
Yeah, I think also too. Just not to even touch on, not even trying to take the conversation on left, but just to touch on something Z that you said, like it's gonna have to be like real world like use case with I'm not saying that NFTs or you know whatever is not real world use case, but I just feel like it's gonna have to be more towards like different things like in crypto, like as far as like StormX, like even for example, like the cash back or whatever, like you get like 2.5% cash back on like a purchase that you make at your Walmart, and they got it chained up to all these stores. It's kind of like you know couponing, but except like you get crypto back or Bitcoin and everything, and then on top of that, you still make money off the acquired interest of the Bitcoin price going up. So then you make money on top of your money. So it's just like couponing on steroids, and not for nothing, I might do that shit from damn self. But I'm just saying, like it's
That shit sound fire. I want that.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, and it's Storm Max for anybody that's listening. But it's going to take those type of things to be able to transition people, from a fiat system into crypto, and then two, I just feel like yeah, the market is going to have to be stabilized. I mean, I just feel like the times that we're in right now is just it's like the Wild Wild West. It's so volatile. You could wake up today, Bitcoin could be at 21,000. You wake up tomorrow and it could be at 14,000. In so much time span. I feel like the market is gonna have to level out as more people get into it. But I just feel like, for those that are listening, take advantage of your opportunities now just because like there is, that opportunity for like life changing gains or whatever and just however you get into the space. But I feel like just along with that, I just feel like all right, it's going to tie into the banking system because you're going to have some or crypto banking or just accumulate money. You're going to have somewhere to allocate your funds or, have your funds regulated in some form or fashion or whatever. So I feel like, as we get more real world use case that will, funnel people into crypto on a level that which they understand it. And NFTs might not be the thing that gets them in the door. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, just whatever gets them in the door. But I don't know. I mean, what's y'all's like? Uh, I guess like, what's like a year date that y'all see like by 20 whatever y'all see like crypto banking like being a thing or if ever.
I don't really see crypto. I mean, I see Coinbase probably maybe still around, and maybe a couple others emerge, or maybe mergers and acquisitions from maybe some traditional banks and crypto, exchanges. But I don't ever see it being a massive thing. Again, I think it's gonna like, a lot of cryptos are gonna fall off, and there's gonna be, so many that's gonna be accepted by like the mass banks that we have, the major banks we have, and maybe they just get implemented into like the other asset classes like stocks and bonds and CDs and money market stuff like that. Um, but I don't see it, being a mass thing. Only just a few people here. Just like in stocks, a little bit more people, but just like stocks, that it'll be in that category, but not really like a massive thing. Definitely won't see no retail stores. Especially with the emergence of online banks already. But yeah, I think you still see a basic FT, and
Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah.
I think I don't want to put a time on it because I think that you'll be able to put a clear timestamp on it when we see a bubble pop. Just like with any new industry, like with the internet bubble and all that, we didn't really know what was going to survive or come out of it until we seen everything that needed to die. Um, so even with the social media boom, there was a social media bubble, and that popped, and we're left with who the strongest survived out of that. So we're gonna need a crypto bubble to pop, and it hasn't popped yet. Think and then even if you want to put NFTs as a space, NFTs are definitely in a bubble. Once that bubble pops, we'll be able to see and predict a better time frame of when mass adoption will come around because we'll be able to see what projects are strong and how they perform and also their mechanics and their tokenomics, and we'll see what works in our systems that we have right there, and then we'll be able to put more of a timestamp on that. But
You know,
until the bubble pops, we can't really.
you
I
know,
can't put a time frame on it.
you don't call 2016, 17 pop.
Nah, I think we're in a bubble right now, especially with these NFTs.
I'm
Definitely.
thinking about NFTs. Yeah, I think it's the first cycle, and I think that that bubble popped already 6 months ago. But for crypto, I think you wasn't you don't remember the bubble from 16 and 17 going in those 2 years.
I wasn't
Oh,
here.
I don't call that a bubble. The bubble is
Huh?
still growing. We still in a bubble. The bubble hasn't popped. The bubble has not popped. The bubble is still growing.
So when
Even
you when we pop, where you think what price you see we going to, like $100 Bitcoin?
I'm not seeing a pop or a crash. Like so, when a bubble pops within an industry, a lot of that means that a lot of these businesses and these projects are gonna die. The
Yeah,
ones that can't survive, they're
that's
gonna die. So we don't know what's gonna die. We gotta wait and see what dies.
I'm saying that I mean we had that already. I think
I don't think so.
I mean I think we
There's a
got.
lot of projects around. We still in a bubble. Everything is still moving really fast. That's why everything is so volatile right now because the bubble hasn't popped.
I mean I think we're going to continue to have these cycles where a bunch of companies emerge and then they die out once we get to the highs, and then we get in a bear market. They don't survive, and we get up. Then I think that those cycles are going to keep happening because I mean we had that once already, and I think
Yeah,
we
we're
just
talking about cycles, not bubbles of an industry, though. Those are cycles. We're talking about bubbles for the entire industry. Just like the internet. The internet boom, there was definitely a lot of stuff going on, and we could sit there, but there was only one time, which was during the 80s, and we had that internet boom. We had the social media boom or the tech boom for what you call it, Silicon Valley, when Yahoo, Google, all of them were sitting there coming up, and AOL, all of them were coming up, and there was a lot of other search engines that came out, but we don't remember those names. Hell, social media came around. How many social media networks was around before Facebook came and fucked everything up for everybody?
I
There was definitely y'all remember Black Planet?
I mean
Y'all remember
no,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
know
yeah,
Black
yeah, yeah.
exactly where they at? So because they lost out in the bubble. So that's what I'm saying. Our bubble. Look at how many projects and bullshit projects are around right now. Same way there was a bunch of bullshit companies around that time, just scavenging, money grabbing, or just getting a bunch of VC money and everything, or just grabbing people's money. Those projects are going to die out, and they haven't died out yet. So I think, in my opinion, we are still in a bubble that has been growing for years, and it still hasn't popped yet. So I'm gonna wait for that bubble to pop before I can make any predictions on whether the of when mass adoption could possibly happen. But as long as we're in a bubble, it ain't happening.
I think once start accepting, people start accepting stuff, and the government start, once they put the hammer down and say, all right, crypto is, we accept this and accept that, you know, we just one purchase acquisition away from people. And I don't think again it's not the masses, but from a bank saying, all right, we buying Coinbase or buying FTX, and just we're gonna have that as a separate arm on our in our bank. People that want to trade crypto, and it's just gonna be, I think, what it is. You'll get to go online and then tap into your that But I don't think it'll be a mass thing until governments decide, all right, this is what it is. Because in other countries, this is what it is. Crypto is what it is. Not really regular banks now, crypto banks. But I don't think I don't think people are trading crypto. They probably just using it like Bitcoin maybe as a as a storage of value. But I think that's as far as we probably gonna go um, at any time.
Yeah, I think with just how all these currencies or anything like that and just technologies will go to zero. I just feel like just for anybody, I just wouldn't get married to any say cryptocurrency or just any currency in general. Like, ride that joint out and just ride the wave, and then when that joint about to drop, just cash on the way out. Like, that's just like to me. I'm like, it's not that I'm not concerned about that. It's just more so like I'll just be like, all right, it was a good run. Like that's like that's like even not even taking change subject, but that's like LeBron going to play for Miami for the 4 years that he when he left Cleveland. Like Miami won two championships out of that. Did he stay the whole time of his career? No, but they got something out of it. Well, thank you for the 4 years. Like that's like me dating Beyonce. Like if I dated Beyonce for 4 years, she didn't marry me. I'd be like, well, I appreciate the 4 years. Like and I rode the wave and I'm cash out. Like whatever. Like I just feel like that's just how you gotta do it. Don't be married to no set crypto. So I just want to say that for all the listeners. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah,
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that. Don't get married to it.
yeah. But I don't know. Do y'all have any like last initial thoughts or whatever? Just on like the banking or whatever. Anything y'all like to
I think you summed it up for me. Don't get married to it.
Action item of the week: don't buy some crypto. You don't got to be Bitcoin, got to be Ethereum. It could be a stable coin, and just try out a crypto a crypto bank. It could be Coinbase, FTX, any one of those, and just play with it, see how it works and things like that. Learn about it. If you haven't bought any crypto.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Go out there and get some. Go out there and get some crypto. Also, another action. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I'll post all our links on the description. If we have our post on the block Twitter account, we also be doing Twitter Spaces on there as well. So just make sure you follow us. Also, follow us and join us on the Discord. You can come interact with us, ask us questions. If you have questions about the banking system, I know for me, I'll give you what I know. I'm nowhere near claiming that I'm a banking expert or whatever, and I got the banking system figured out. By no means am I even claiming that or whatever. But we'll just come with you best you can. I know Shades just popped in here. Shout outs to him. But yeah, just in terms of that, just make sure you just rock with us on the Discord. Just come follow us, and even then, we might even do like a part two to this discussion because there's so many layers that comes with the banking system and industry, and just like there's just so many things to tie into. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. We are to post it on the Block Podcast. We cover all things blockchain, metaverse, NFTs, all money making opportunities in the space. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Is